Hey everyone, this is Haley from Cartooniverse, and I have another Star vs. the Force of Evil theory to share with you. Today we'll be talking about Toffee and violence. We've seen a lot of people try to stop Toffee using violence, but it never seems to work. We're going to talk about what those failures mean, and then discuss a way that Toffee might be defeated for good. So far in this series, we've seen or heard of 3 battles involving Toffee. In Storm the Castle, we see Star try to fight Toffee, and Into the Wand, we learn that Moon fought Toffee in the past. And in Star Crushed, we see Moon and Toffee fighting again. Despite all the fighting, both Moon and Star fail to truly kill or stop Toffee. Let's take a closer look at each battle individually and see what's really going on. We'll start with Storm the Castle. In Storm the Castle, Star rushes into Ludo's castle to rescue Marco, who's been kidnapped by Toffee. Despite Buff Frog's warnings that she needs to have a plan to fight Toffee, Star just charges in. The way Star uses her magic in this fight is significant. It strikingly resembles modern combat. Specifically, she treats the battle like a SWAT raid. She racks her wand like a shotgun, then fills the room with smoke with a smoke grenade. Star tries to break open the crystal prison first with a spell that looks like timed explosives, and then with a spell that looks like a rocket-propelled grenade. Because the series shows Star using these modern weapons in an episode called Storm the Castle, it's trying to tell us something about her. The modern weapons shown that Star thinks in a modern way, which will later be contrasted with Moon and Star Crushed, and they reinforce the idea that she is rash and unprepared. Meanwhile, during the fight in Ludo's castle, Toffee seems calm, even bored. Why is that? It's because he doesn't fear violence. He knows that Star will try to stop him with force, even though it can't really hurt him. Even after getting his arm blasted off, Toffee still seems unconcerned. After the wand explodes, Toffee is seemingly destroyed. Although there are hints that he will return, just as his Sue and Tai surviving the blast. And since we know by now that Toffee does survive, this makes Storm the Castle the first time in the series that violence fails to stop Toffee. We learn about the second time in Into the Wand. In that episode, we see a tapestry of Moon and Toffee in battle, and we learn that Moon and Toffee fought many years in the past, and that Moon used her darkest spell to sever Toffee's finger. But even Moon's magic, at the peak of its power, doesn't seem to be able to stop Toffee for good. Toffee comes back and is hired by Ludo in Fortune Cookies. Since no one seems to know who Toffee is, it's possible that he hasn't been seen since the battle against Moon. The important thing we learn in Into the Wand isn't that Moon beats Toffee. The reality is that Moon fails to stop Toffee, even after using her darkest spell. Toffee survives and comes back stronger, because now he knows more about the Butterfly family's magic. That makes Into the Wand the second time we learn violence fails against Toffee. The third time finally comes in Star Crushed, where Moon and Toffee fight once again. After Toffee takes over Ludo's body, he regenerates his own arm over the wand. The Magic High Commission tries to fight Toffee, but it's entirely one-sided. Toffee is able to withstand their attacks and drain their powers. By the time Moon is revived, Toffee has enough power to deflect her attacks as well, leading to a decisive victory for Toffee. Remember what I said about Star's modern fighting style in Storm the Castle? Unlike Star, Moon's fighting style in Star Crush is reminiscent of high fantasy medieval combat. This makes sense, as it's what you would expect from Moon, who is older and more traditional. Yet this traditional style of fighting fails against Toffee as well. It's significant that Moon, who is a far more knowledgeable magic user than Star, uses her magic in fairly conventional ways. She shoots bolts of magic at Toffee, tries to grab him, and duels him with a sword. But that type of combat is uncreative, and the show wants us to realize that. The very next shot after the fight with Toffee finishes is a close-up of Star's wand in a scene with her and Oscar. And what is Star doing in that scene? She's casting a spell. And not just any spell, it's one that she's created for herself. One that is unconventional, creative, and totally chaotic. There are 2 reasons this scene is so important. First of all, the scene shows us that Moon's fight against Toffee is missing something: Star's unexpected creativity. Secondly, the scene brings back an idea which has been simmering in the background for almost the entire season. Star doesn't play by the rules, she uses her imagination. Let's go back to Mr. Candle Cares. Tom and Marco play a game of ping pong in order to determine if Marco lives or dies. When Tom brings up the fact that Star cheats, Marco says, "Star doesn't really cheat, she just makes up her own rules." To which Tom replies, "And then she changes the rules again halfway through the game." That's a very important scene, which lets us know, early on in Season 2, that Star doesn't play by the rules. Another important scene happens in The Hard Way. In The Hard Way, Glossaryck is trying to teach Ludo how to use magic. Ludo asks Glossaryck when he's going to learn Narwhal Blast, but Glossaryck tells him Star made that up, it's not in the book. She just used her imagination for most things. Going back to the scene in Star Crush with Star and Oscar, the spell that Star casts is Sparkle Kitten Fireworks Shower. No normal person would ever think to combine kittens with fireworks, but Star does, and that's the real point of that scene. The scene shows us that Star's ability with magic is limited only by her imagination. That's why Star Crush contrasts Star and Moon. Whereas Moon is a good student who follows the book and does the things the way they're supposed to be done, Star is the complete opposite, someone who makes it up as she goes along. Star writes her own spells, she doesn't play by the rules. Star uses magic in a way that other people can't predict. Remember in Raid the Cave when Star tries to use the spying spell as a portal? She does something that Glossaryck has never even seen before. Star solves her problems in unorthodox and creative ways. Remember in Baby when Star grows an entire tree and a new perfect apple in order to pass her test? Baby says that Star is far beyond Moon's ability at her age. In order to stop Toffee, Star will have to learn that she can't use violence to beat him. She'll need to realize that she has to use her imagination in order to win. Metaphorically, Toffee represents a force of destruction, something that wants to break things and hurt and kill people. Trying to destroy that with violence only adds to it. On the opposite end is Star. Star represents the force of creation, something that wants to build things, make people happy, and bring new life into the world. Star doesn't realize it yet, but she and Toffee are naturally opposed to one another. Toffee expects people trying to kill him, he expects violence. But what he won't expect is the chaotic, creative magic of Star's imagination. With a little maturity, Star will learn her lesson from Storm the Castle, and realize that instead of relying on violence to solve her problems, she can stop Toffee using a creative solution. When Star finally understands that her imagination is the key to truly defeating Toffee, she'll be far more dangerous to him than he could ever realize. And that wraps up today's theory. Once again, thank you Violin for writing this theory. Check out his Tumblr blog, which I will link in the description below. Also, thank you Patreon supporters. A new supporter is Evan Knight. Thank you so much for becoming a supporter of Cartooniverse. To get a shout out, stickers, behind the scene access, and more, please consider becoming a patron to our channel. I should probably start shouting out to my social media more often, so feel free to check out my Twitter and Tumblr. I guess that's something people do often, so I might as well start doing it also. Thanks for watching!